Hello, hello. I have been finagling trying to get this lovely sunbeam and this lovely apartment that I live in to go away so I can do this video, but it's just not happening. So I wanted to do this. I initially was like feeling doing a Facebook Live or an IG Live just because I haven't done that in so long. Like I was thinking about this and I'm like, it has been like COVID time because then I got a full-time job and I've just really not been doing it. And it's a full moon tonight. It's the wolf moon and I'm really feeling this inclination to do this. Regardless of the quality, I just wanted to get something out there for anyone who wants to or feels inclined to listen. So, full moon energy tonight. You know me, I'm always in my themes. So, I've got like my little celestial leggings on. Oh, don't mind the feet. And my little celestial mug. Little constellations. It's so fun. It's those little things, right? But one thing that I was feeling called to share is that the keyword, the theme that I'm receiving is purge. So you may have been noticing, you may have been having a lot of dreams lately too, because of the full moon energy building up. Even though it's happening tonight, Saturday, January 27th, it's still building up. It's still, you're anticipating all of that energy, right? And with that being said, you may be having dreams. Now it's a matter of how you want to interpret those dreams because you are the creator of your own destiny, right? So, your subconscious is probably telling you certain things, but it may not be pointing you in a direction. It may not be necessarily like a reconciliation or a needing to reach out to certain people or a notion to take a move to make a different change in a direction. Or it may be, again, you need to dial that in and see what it means to you. But it may be a releasing, a letting go, a telling of, letting that go in love and light. Because the purging is not only a matter of the home, things in physical form, although it is, because let's face it, we are still in a recession. I've been noticing, I'm sure you have too, the inflation for toothpaste and toothbrushes, the essentials, right? And I was in the store the other day and multiple people I overheard, and one girl in particular looked at me and she's like, how are you supposed to survive? And it's this fear that's building up. And certain people are feeding into that. Certain people are taking different approaches. They may be taking a negative approach to try and stir the pot. But you need to bring it in and see, what can I do to make it easier? What can I do to still live in my light, to still take part in things that you want to take part in, to have certain joys that you want, and not to have a negative connotation with it. Not a sense of, oh, I have to take this second job because I'm going to pick this up. This is just temporary. I'm going to do what I got to do to get through, to achieve these goals. It's also a matter of letting go of certain things that you may not need anymore. So not only a matter of packing up the bag and getting things out of the closet and sending it to Goodwill where people, one man's trash is another person's treasure. It's true. It's a matter of letting go of things that you no longer need. Like maybe you have a subscription to something. Maybe, it's a time to revisit these things. Maybe you don't need that extra makeup palette. Maybe there's one that's just as good that you can find that's way less expensive elsewhere. Like find those creative ways to really shift the mold and see, what is it that I can do? I found a really inexpensive face moisturizer on Amazon and was like mind boggled because it like, hey, B had to make her little appearance. I hope you saw her. Hey, BB. My favorite little spirit animal child that I have here. But, you know, just looking into those ways, what can I do? Where can you clear the space for what you have that you don't need anymore so that you can welcome more prosperity? You can have new things coming into your life. And if you're in that position to give in certain instances, give. Don't be afraid to share. You know, I mean, be smart about it. Don't overgive. But, you know, if you can, do it. Whether it's financially, whether it's emotionally, whatever it is. And if the last portion of the purge that I'm feeling this call to share again is that it's letting go of relationships that are no longer serving you. Like, you can love a person, but love yourself more. And it's hard. It is hard to let go. And I'm not only talking love relationships as in like partners or husband, wife, husband, dating, whoever you are dating. I'm speaking to family ties, friendships, long-standing friendships. If it's not serving you in your higher light, if you're noticing these old patterns that keep, when are you going to break it? What is it going to take to break it? And sometimes it takes an end. Sometimes it takes separation. Maybe you will come back together again. But if you come back together again and nothing is changing, it's time to break the pattern. Stop going through it. Stop allowing yourself to go through it. Like, what is it going to take? What is it going to take? Usually it's a rock bottom moment. I'll attest to that. So, that's my little, hope that helps. I wanted to also just briefly touching on the full moon. This is really calling in not only letting go, but it's really with the prosperity. So calling in what you want. So if you're looking for something, call it, like say it, speak it, light a candle. I've got mine going this morning. I was doing my little meditation. That's when I actually got the nudge. I was doing a meditation to preface for a full moon meditation. And that's when I got the nudge. It's time, you need to do a recording. This light is like insane. Let me tell you. Oh my God, it's crazy. I mean, I do get a lot more light in this place that I moved to. But yeah, there's a lot of change that's carrying over from 2023 into 2024. And I'm sure that you all have felt that as well. So yeah, that's just what I encourage you to do. You know, do something for yourself, call in something for yourself, and, you know, be welcoming and trusting of that. I did pull a card, tradition, you know, I haven't done my podcast recording in a while. However, I am a guest speaker on Jonny Pardoe's, Mind and Confidence. I will put the link in the show notes, as well as Witchy Wellness podcast with Loren Cellentani. I think I pronounced her name right. So, geez, when you're put on the spot, right? So that's the getting live. I can't get meticulous with a little YouTube video action, right? So I did pull this card. This jumped out of the deck right before I was about to hop on. And this is the elk. It is the 6 of acorns. And this is from Spirits on Tarot deck. Also, you can check out my Heavenly Pennies podcast. It's on everything. Spotify, iTunes, if you haven't already. Well, I still have some old episodes that are from the archives that I need to get up in there. I have some goodies on there. I even have a free yoga nidra. There's some, meditations that are in there with some of my, yoga instructors. So it's good stuff. There's still some really great content on there. So, this is, the start of something new, this 2024. I'm really grateful that I was a guest speaker on a few episodes, so I don't need my OCD kicking in, which gets me to push back the podcast episodes. The book also is still coming, The Pennies from Heaven, but it's wild because I literally was like, okay, it's ready to submit it to my editor. And then she's like, I'm sorry, but I can't get it to you in this time. Like, she has a full-time job now. And I'm like, crud, like, what am I going to do? So then I had an issue. I needed to send my laptop somewhere. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, so if you're noticing, I'm sharing this because if you're noticing, like, there are a lot of those blocks and things getting in your way, I'm getting back to the elk card. Don't worry. But it's not your imagination. It absolutely is not your imagination. Like, this is something that is happening because, again, it's like, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Like, what are you going to do? What is it going to take to get you to that level? Let's go. All right. So the elk, back to this. This is triumph, completion. It's your strength. It's finally getting the recognition that you deserve. Boom. And trust your intuition, because no one knows better than yourself. Sometimes people come to me and they ask me things, and I am so happy to share when I receive messages, but nobody knows better than yourself. Like, it's the truth. Like, dial it in because you are the creator of your path. So this is the next one that I pulled. The wheel. It's a fun little octopus. Oh, little guy. So, new beginning, good fortune, going with the flow. You're a master of your own energy. You are a master. Did I not just say that? So, yeah, boom. You're the master of your energy. What are you going to welcome into your space? What are you going to release? What are you going to let go of? What are you going to purge? Yep. And it's new beginnings. But to get there, the next one was the Queen of Crystals. This is the Hedgehog. I love this deck so much. So great. Thank you, Spirits on Deck by Paulina Cassidy. The Hedgehog. This is going back home. This is your comfort. This is trying to... It's actually tying back to the prosperity, right? So it's getting in with what is it that you need to purge, going with your security. I'm getting this card a little close to that flame. I need to watch that. So your security, your prosperity, and again, what is it that you need to let go of? So kind of going inward, right? So going back, taking a moment, taking it inward so that you can see what is it that I need to do? Like, what is it that's going to help me to get there? And sometimes that's a matter of bringing it back to self, coming back to that home environment. And also in the physical form, I'm sure a lot of you have probably noticed, you brought that awareness, like, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but a lot of people have been a lot more like homebody since the new year. If you're feeling that homebody energy, please like this, share, subscribe, whatever, if you feel the call. All right, so the last card that I pulled, and I was really excited that I randomly pulled this one because I've never pulled this one. I haven't. It's the Traveler. So this is the gazelle. What a beautiful, majestic animal, right? So this is, again, you see the gazelle, it's jumping. It's like finding that achievement, finding that adventure into spirit, into growth, into the sun, this energy. Tonight it'll be the moon. And with that, it's pretty much just saying, like, again, trusting in yourself and, not only a matter of, jumping into things, but looking where you're going. Because you want to make sure you're landing on your feet. You want to make sure that you're not going into a big pile of mud and you're going to sink. So it's taking that leap of faith, but knowing where you're going so that you're creating what you wish to create. And not looking into the past. You're not going to move forward by holding on to that past, that fear, that regret, which I touch on the Witchy Wellness podcast, Loren's Witchy Wellness podcast. That was a big theme. So it's like if you're holding on to these things, you're not going to be able to move forward. And we all know it. We've all heard it. But sometimes you need to reinforce it. It feels so good to share some messages with you. And I really hope that it resonates. If it does, check out heavenlypennies.net. Let me know if I'm also feeling the call to do a virtual meditation or yoga again. And if you're feeling the call to do that in a group virtually, send me a message because I will keep you in the loop because that's something, I do feel that it's weird. It's almost like you're kind of this energy is kind of bringing it back to, okay, it's those reminders, what was it that we didn't gain, or what was it that we gained during the pandemic that we can bring forward to push through the gunk and get where we need to go. And there were certain things that I really picked up there, the being able to touch and reach people virtually, across the country and different countries. This is such a huge gift that we can connect in this community. So, I think that wraps it up. Happy full moon, happy wolf moon. And until next time, keep shining and collecting those heavenly coins.